We did it! We actually fucking did it! Status report, now!
Here.
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 Present.
Here.
Not dead.
Here.
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 Has anyone heard from Aradia?
Wow, Karkat. Ask about Aradia, not yours truly. Harsh!
I know you're fine, Vriska. You're standing right next to me in the control room. Or what's left of the control room. That was one hell of a fight.
It was. Do we finally get our own universe now, Car Kitty?
Yes. Kanaya and I have one final thing to finish, and then we'll have it. A new universe to rule over as gods.
Don't get a big head yet, Carcat.
Has anyone seen Aradia?
I am here. Since I am not needed, I have made my way to the Victory platform.
The what?
It is a large floating platform that appeared above Skya when the king died.
Cool. Everyone chill out on this Victory platform then, I guess. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, a little something to commemorate our victory. Har har. I'm just grateful for everyone. I know I don't say it often enough, but thanks. Anyone going to respond?
Sorry, K-Man. That was pretty cringe.
Oh.
Don't be so touchy-feely, Vantis. That's for wigglers.
I must concur. We completed this game as cohorts, but that is as far as our bond goes.
Oh. Well, never mind then.
I think it's rad as hell, Karkat. It's miraculous to see some real as fuck friendship miraculously emerge, no matter how these hitters are trying to deny it.
Gamzee, don't defend me. The moment is over. It's fine.
Okay.
Everyone just wait on the stupid victory platform, I guess.
You are now a human, reading the end of Karkat's lore document. You feel a sense of denouement, having reached the end of Karkat's rather long account, but unanswered questions swirl in your mind. You feel like you've learned about these trolls and their plight, but nothing about how to win the game, nor about the true sources of intrigue. How did Aradia die? Who is this mysterious Spade Slick who bears such a resemblance to Jack Noir? And who is this Vriska girl who haunts the narrative like a scary ghost? And more importantly, how did Bec Noir get to the Trolls session from yours and ruin everything for them? Everything seemed to be going so well after all. Doesn't it always? Your name is... Wayward Vagabond. Your name is the Wayward Vagabond, but more recently, the Mayor. You have awoken in the middle of the night to a kerfuffle. You and your two friends, the Peregrine Mendicant and the Authority Regulator, are exiles, sent to the doomed world of Earth to spend the rest of your days ostracized from the kingdoms of Durs and Prospit. Over the past few days, you had come to rely on your comrades, sleeping together in a mysterious underground lab complex buried in the sand. You had assumed that your life now would be an idyllic wasteland adventure, but tonight would change that. White carapace thuds against white carapace as your new friend, PM, pummels the ever-loving piss out of a newcomer. The newcomer appears to have arrived from a portal in the corner, the one leading from Prospit back home. What the hell? You shout dumbly into the fray. AR, your burly compatriot, drags PM off the newcomer, who gets slowly to her feet. You recognize her quickly. Your Majesty, you say, hearing your two partners speak in unison with you. Before you is the White Queen of Prospit, wrapped in pure white robes, gazing at you with a staggering compassion. Get off me! PM uses this moment as the perfect chance to squirm out of AR's grip, marching up to the White Queen, poking her chest. The Queen doesn't budge, but she doesn't look angry either. The utter lack of provocation seems to deflate PM's sails. After a moment of silence, an inescapable air of calm passes over the room. Only after this oppressive regal calm falls does the Queen speak.
I come to you as an ordinary wind-swept question,
She breathes, so low that you have to lean in.
on a solemn mission.
There's another pause.
To stop the madman known as Jack.
Her words hang in the air. The three of you just spoke last night about the very same man, Jack Noir, and the memory makes you and AR shiver.
So it's true,
PM says, voice still vindictive.
he really blew up Prospet's moon.
Yes, the Queen says, expressing sadness so great you feel compelled to tear up yourself.
It would be best if you fled this place, denizens of the medium.
But we live here, Miss Queen, ma'am, says AR a little reluctantly. The Queen turns to him and he flinches from her attention.
The demon will be here soon, kind regulator,
She says, her fist clenching around something that's glowing faintly, casting little shadows on the walls.
He will tear apart anything in his way, even if those things are simply standing by.
There's a silence. This is all rather alarmingly sudden, a woman appearing in your midst and dumping all this dire information on you. Can we help? You ask suddenly before you realize what you're saying. The Queen looks at you curiously. We're no friends to the demon ourselves.
My plan can be only executed by one, myself.
The Queen opens her palm. You recognize what's within it. The ring of orbs fourfold. The twin to the one on Jack Noir's finger, the one that gives him his dreadful powers.
I should not have to tell you the power of this ring,
the Queen says, closing her palm again.
There are two, one for Durse, the one Jack wears, and one for Prospet, the one within my very hand. This ring alone has the power to stop him. And you're gonna what, fight him?
PM's voice is leveled out now, but she still sounds skeptical. The Queen shakes her head.
He knows this ring is out there. He wants it for himself. He already possesses its power, but if he had both rings, there would be no one alive to stand against him.
The Queen paces, showing the barest trace of impatience.
Jack is searching intensely for this ring, for it is in the nature of demons to seek out what can undo them. It is only a matter of time until he catches up with me, and I cannot risk fighting him. So,
the Queen points at the portals in the lab, portals you paid barely any mind to.
I am going to draw him into a new reality, she says simply. He wants this ring. I cannot stop him, so I will merely draw him outside of space and time so he cannot harm any others.
All of this is so sudden, so over your head. You have a sense that your colleagues feel the same from their dumbfounded expressions. How? AR asks, the question that seems the most logical to ask, even if there's nothing left to say. The Queen doesn't speak. She points to the ground, to the teleporter pad, the one she didn't come from, the one labeled A2.
The place you're standing in is known as a seed hub. It houses ectobiological equipment and structures to aid the people of this universe access other universes. Above it, before the meteors fell, this place was beneath a river, under the manor of one of the game's players.
The Queen points again, explaining everything with the same patience as a training robot talking to its student.
There's also one on the moon.
The Queen steps onto the pad regally, holding her hand out.
Heed my warning, denizens. Leave this place, and don't return. If the demon finds you on his way to destroy me, you'll pray you had never been ectobiologized.
There's a long, dusty pause as her words hang in the air. Her silence stretches out, and eventually it becomes clear that something should be happening by now. The Queen clears her throat.
Is this teleporter on?
The Queen undercuts her regality by hesitantly lowering her hand. PM looks to you, then to AR awkwardly.
I don't think it's powered on. I see, says the Queen. There should be a cache of uranium around that's suitable to charge it. These machines take quite a lot of raw power, you see.
Uranium?
you suddenly feel a hot wash of realization. "Ah," you say hesitantly, squirming in place. "I might have, Your compatriots look at you, blinking slowly. "I might have eaten the uranium," you say, grinning like an imp with a stolen boon dollar. The White Queen looks legitimately dumbfounded, her eyes flitting from your face to your stomach. "Okay," she says hesitantly. "Well, it should be enough for you just to stand nearby. These pads are proximity charge capable." "Will it hurt me?" you ask. "No," she says without looking at you. Her unease makes you in turn uneasy. "Can't we just trap the demon here?" you say as the White Queen drags you to the teleporter. "The trip has to be one way," she insists, positioning you on the pad, which hums to life. Your uranium-enriched stomach groans. Your belly glows, green shining through the black carapace of your skin, your body shuddering, skin creaking like it may crack. You stagger to the ground with a grunt. "You're hurting him," PM says, reaching out to you. AR follows up the rear, ready to help PM, but you hesitate, your fists clenching. "It's okay," you say, coughing, trying to stand back up as the energy flows through your very skin.
"All due respect, Mayor,"
AR speaks up.
"but this might be really dangerous."
Dangerous. AR is right. This is stupid. The windswept questant just dropped a bomb in your lap and expected you to deal with it. She might have doomed you all. But even so, the thought of Jack Noir makes your jaw set. "I don't care," you say suddenly, surprising yourself. The Queen hesitates, her grip loosening on your arm. "I hate that demon more than anything. More than the Black Queen, more than the Black King, and more than her." You nod back at the White Queen, who says nothing. "Jack needs to die. He ruined my chance for democracy." There's a slow, long wind outside. "What's a democracy?" PM says, cocking her head to the side. "God damn if that's not the saddest thing you've ever heard." "Come," says WQ. "Heed my words, denizens. Leave this place." The machine powers up, making you fall to your knees in pain. There's an electric thrumming in your head, a low, slow, dull throb as radiation pours from inside your body to outside, passing every single organ on its way. You fall over, limp. As the White Queen repeats her warning, you suddenly black out. There's a long, comfortable, sleep-like silence. It's calm, peaceful, pleasant. You feel nothingness, and yet a potent consciousness forms flitting before your eyes as darkness shrouds you like a comforting sheet. But only for a moment before sensation explodes behind your retinas, and you impact a surface like an egg on concrete. You cough, retching on the floor, hands bracing yourself as you vomit off the edge of a large stone platform floating in space. From your throat come faintly glowing green rocks, the remains of your stomach battery. "I'm sorry." You hear a voice from behind you, the White Queen. The two of you are somewhere new, a large stone disc in the vague shape of a plate with Skya's spirograph pattern on its surface. "Where are we?" you say, peering off the edge of the disc, seeing only blackness all around. "The medium," she says. You look at her in shock. "Way back home?" "No," she says. "In a sense we are, but in another." She looks around, pointing upward. High above is the faint image of Skya. "We are not." Skya looks so familiar, but as you stare it begins to look different. Alien, almost. Skya's clouds are more pale, its shining blue a slightly different hue. You are in some brother reality, some mirror world. Far from making you comforted, you feel strange. "Look," you say, noting the gently spinning planet orbiting this new Skya. "Prospect." The White Queen looks at the familiar golden moon wistfully, but Prospect too looks different.
Instead of 2 spires on its surface, there are 6.
We are in another session, she says, walking to the edge of the dish. On the victory platform.
You follow her, already dreadfully confused. How do I go back? You say, looking down at your feet in the place you'd just appeared. The Queen's eyes look at you. In them is a passivity that makes you feel small, insignificant. The feeling makes something resentful inside you burn.
You don't, she says simply. This is where we will die.
Before you can remark on this grim admission in protest, there's a sound nearby, the sound of metal on stone. You look to your left and see something very curious.
Hello,
the gunmetal gray robot says. You look at the Queen. She looks as stunned as you are. Huh. Hi? You say when the Queen says nothing.
Who are you?
The robot asks mildly in a monotone voice, cocking its head. I am the mayor, you say, trying to be regal. I come from a different universe as a liaison to... You look to the White Queen for help.
Stranger, the Queen says slowly, you should not be here. This place is the gateway into a new universe, and soon a demon will emerge through it and destroy everything inside. I don't think we have to worry about that, the robot says, folding her arms behind her back. We just defeated the Black King, after all.
You are now the Peregrine Mendicant. Before your eyes, a queen and a mayor disappear. The room you're in is quiet for a moment before it's filled with your scream. Mayor! You hear the scream from your own throat, but also the throat of AR behind you, who shoves past you and scratches at the ground where they had been standing. On a small screen on the floor next to the A2 teleporter, there's a tiny red indicator light. Out of battery.
She took him,
you say in disbelief, grief slowly roiling inside you next to the shock. You just gotten to know the guy, and in spite of being somewhat cold, you were really warming up to him. The grief and shock twist together as something new. Anger.
I'm coming, Mayor!
AR cries, banging his fists on the inert machine. You put a hand on his shoulder. Calm down, you say. He looks at you in tearful anger.
How can you say that, PM? She took...
Before the aimless renegade can finish, there's a buzzing sound that makes your heart begin to hammer urgently. The teleporter from which the White Queen emerged vibrates, jittering to and fro, like it's about to explode. You and AR were warned about this.
Oh no,
you whisper. AR finishes your thought. Noir. A deafening explosion rocks the entire structure in the seed hub, chunks of rock flying out of the teleporter as a grim figure stands in the rubble. A figure with sharp canine ears, tattered clothes crackling with green energy. You and AR scream in unison, amplifying the terror in your voices.
Where is she?
His voice feels like it might deafen you as he clutches you suddenly by the shirt, yanking you to your feet. With a mortified gasp, you feel yourself shake your head. He throws you against the wall like a doll, your shoulder surely bruising against it.
Where is she?
He repeats, grabbing AR. You shake your head at him. This monster can't be allowed through that teleporter. He can't kill the mayor. He can't kill AR. AR is braver than you, though he's shaking in his boots. He grits his teeth, gripping Jack's wrist, legs flailing. He doesn't speak. He spits in Jack's face, making the beast roar with unfiltered, impatient rage. No! No! You feel your vocal cords strain as Jack's hand closes tight around AR's neck, his head suddenly and sickeningly separating from his body. You look away as Jack growls an ungodly whining wheeze, stomping AR's carapace into the concrete, shaking the whole building. Moments ago, you had 2 friends. Now, you don't have any. Jack rounds on you, eyes a blank green glow. Tears blind you, and you're glad you've been spared from the horror. You feel your voice move without your permission, a shaky finger pointing to the teleporter. Death rattles in your chest, and the rational fear of that green-black horror compels you to obey. Jack's glowing eyes turn to you, blood on his feet from stomping your friend into nothing. He snarls, green smoke coming from his snout, hatred curdling in your chest, mixing like oil and flame. Hatred consumes you, and as the lumbering horror slinks onto the teleporter, it shakes and rumbles just like it had before, coming to life because of his nuclear power. In the last moments before he vanishes, you leap, clinging to his leg, hearing him snarl and howl as you're both sent into blackness. You are no longer the Peregrine Mendicant. Your name is Aradia Megiddo. You're on the victory platform after defeating the Black King, a feat you're rather proud of. Even if you're living on borrowed time in a robotic body, and you're at the bottom of some horrible social caste system, you were instrumental in the creation of a new universe. But now something doesn't feel right to you. A little Dursite and the White Queen just appeared on the victory platform. You'd never met the White Queen yourself, being a Durst dreamer, but this one looks different. Strange. She's not wearing what the royalty of your session wears. She's different. She's not yours. Moreover, she's raving about a beast that's about to appear. "We must leave at once," she says solemnly, the little man nodding in agreement. Their terror seems alarming to you, even though your robotic body has very little in the way of emotions. "My friends will be here soon," you say. "They can help us fight." "No, miss," the little Dursite says. "The thing that's coming destroyed armies. It destroyed Prospect. It can break planets." You look at the wrong White Queen. She nods. This is beyond your reasoning capabilities. You decide to speak to the most trustworthy member of your team. "Karkat, are you almost ready?"
Yeah, why?
"Tell everyone to hold off on coming. There is a problem."
A problem?
It'll take too long to explain. Please trust me.
Okay. No offense, Aradia, but you can be kind of cryptic. I'm going to need more to go on here. Everyone is waiting to take our prize.
I have been warned from a trustworthy source that there is something horrible coming. A beast, they call it.
Okay. Like a secret final boss?
No. This beast is coming from elsewhere. Another session of the game, I think.
Okay. Fuck that. I'm not winning an entire game just for some beast to show up and mess it all up. The Cavalry Reapers are coming, Aradia. Sit tight.
If you think that is best.
We beat the Black King. What could go wrong?
Do you actually want me to answer that?
Maybe not.
Apprehension settles into your robotic chest. "My friends are going to help us defeat this beast," you say simply. The Queen makes an exasperated noise. "You do not understand. The platform under your feet begins to rumble. The White Queen looks at you in terror, her glassy white eyes wide. "It's too late," she says, and then she speaks words that make machine lubricant in your veins turn to ice. "He is already here." As soon as those words are out, her body explodes into atoms.
behind the thin pink mist that used to be the foreign white queen, stands a figure out of your nightmares. A shaggy, black-furred monster, oozing green sparks and viridian smoke from his dreadful maw, a Prospidian stranger clinging to its leg. You stare blankly at the beast, unable to move as its hate-filled eyes regard you up and down.
What are you supposed to be, little tin can? Some great she-devil? I like the horns. I think I'll ward those first.
You don't speak. Fear fills you, an emotion you didn't think you had anymore. The thing doesn't expect a response and turns away, leaning down to pick up the queen's ring, moving to place it on his hand to join the ring that's already there. Before that can happen, however, a shot rings out, and from behind you, Jack's hand is hit by something white and blue. You look back. Inside a large red rocket, your friends are all barreling towards the victory platform, Eridan standing on the nose, looking down the barrel of a blue rifle. The beast snarls, the ring falling from its grip. Without hesitation, he bounds past you towards the red rocket ship, but before he can, you act. From thin air appears a massive cloud of gunmetal gray bodies piling onto the beast, trying to stop him from intercepting your teammates. There must be hundreds of bodies, dragging him downward towards Skaya's surface. Your alternate universe clones from doomed times come to save you. But even hundreds of selves can't hold him down. Green rays erupt from the orb of gray that envelops the beast, and his cries can be heard from within. You feel a hand clasp around your wrist and your body get yanked. Karkat and Kanaya are hauling you into the rocket as you watch the victory platform retreat into the distance. Your co-players watch in horror as the beast breaks free of every last one of your clones in one mighty howl, evaporating them instantly, ending their lives without hesitation. Horror compounds as all 12 of you see shining black eyes turn on all of you, the beast flying with a sonic boom towards your ship.
Gun it!
You hear someone shout and you see Solix's eyes glowing, his electric powers fueling the rocket as it careens into the meteor belt that surrounds the medium. From the back of the rocket, Eridan shoots more shots, each one bouncing off the nuclear black beast with just a wince. You join the fray, extending a hand, drawing more doomed selves to send towards him, but you feel yourself getting weaker.
Step aside.
You hear the grim voice of Vriska behind you. You look up at her, her deadly dice in her palm, throwing them out the back of the ship towards the beast. There's a long pause before, in the distance, there's a massive eruption of blue smoke and a stinging, harsh smell, like pepper spray or polar bear repellent. You see green sparks in the midst, the beast caught in a cloud. Your rocket speeds towards one of the meteors, landing bumpily, Solix's nose bleeding yellow blood as you scrape into the small planetoid. The 12 of you hurry towards a hatch on the surface, Karkat twisting it open before you all file down into the place. In the distance, you see the dissipating blue cloud and hear the anguished, hatred-infused howls of the beast, terror clouding your mind as the last thing you see before entering the meteor is the destruction of the victory platform. You just won the game, but lost everything. Your entire journey goes up in smoke. Diabolus ex Machina. Thank you for listening to Homestuck Alternate Universe, HIVEBENT. More is in store for our ever-expanding cast, so stay tuned for more. Homestuck Alternate Universe is written, produced, and narrated by Funk McLovin, also featuring Janaya as Kanaya, AE as Terezi, Bucky as Karkat, Pakin as Tavros, Shrimp as Nepeta, Technically Dead as Solix, Harper as Vriska, Eclipi as Gamzee and Equius, and West as Theferi. Illustrations are by Sunny Dionysus and Gastro. Please support Homestuck Alternate Universe on patreon.com/funkmclovin for early access, behind the scenes, and bonus features, but mostly to simply support the efforts of independent creators. Homestuck was written by and is the creation of Andrew Hussie. Thank you for listening.